I'm not sure if you've noticed, but the demands of the consumer have been changing very recently, over the last couple of years actually, especially post-COVID. I've noticed at least, a certain increase in the expectations of, especially list side agents. Buy-side agents, the expectations have risen simply because it requires more man and or woman hours to fulfill the needs of the buyer. For example, like you actually have to prospect and look for homes off market in order to help your clients win, because if you're just showing homes that are on the MLS, you're losing time and time again. And so on the buy side, the demands have been there and they're quite obvious, but on the listing side of things, it's maybe a little less obvious. And so I don't know if you've really been paying attention, but the need for a consultative approach to the list side has become increasingly necessary. Meaning, it's very infrequent now that you get a come list me call where the seller's ready to go this weekend. There is a lot of work, there's a lot of preparation that needs to happen in order to get the home ready and prepared for sale. And the sellers just simply aren't ready anymore to list their home right away. And there are several different things that are required in order to get the home ready for sale. And it is more of a consultative type of approach that is winning in this market. And I believe that this type of consultative strategy, this consultative approach, is going to be the predominant used way to sell homes moving forward. Meaning, I don't believe that in 3 to 5 years the majority of listings will be taken right and like you'll put the home on the market right away. I believe that it will be a 3 to 6 month process to prepare the home for sale. I'm not talking about renovations, by the way, like that, that's a whole nother beast. I'm just talking about like guiding the client through all the ins and outs of getting the home prepared for sale. It is not just like let's put the home up on the market, let's put up a sign, let's take some pictures and pray that the home sells. That approach was the shotgun approach, if you will, has been used for a long time. I just don't feel like that's going to win. And so as an agent, you have to start asking yourself, well, shoot, like, what does that mean for me? Because a consultative approach requires more man hours, significantly more. It's not just like a little bit more, it's a lot more. And so you can't be in 5 different places at once. If there's more time demanded from you, that means you're going to have to spend more time per client. So how do you overcome this in order to ensure that you're not losing business, that you're not losing traction in your business, that you're not spending more time on these listings, which means that you have time for less clients? So the first strategy, the first one that comes to mind is like, well, what if I just work with less people and charge more money? Good luck with that. Okay, because the society already feels like we're overpaid, which those of us in the industry that actually understand, we know that's not true. That we actually that we bring value, but that's not the way the consumer feels. And so ultimately consumer sentiment always wins out unless we can demonstrate that value. And so the consultative approach is going to be the one that's required to even win full commission moving forward. So if you don't offer that, then that's where well, so and so just offered me a month-long process where we're doing all of this stuff and we're getting the home prepared for sale and doing all of this, and then, oh, by the way, they're bringing this expert out and that expert out and this expert out and that expert out over the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks in order to. So if you're not doing that, well, then you're not going to be able to even charge full commission. And so that idea of doing less business and charging more for it is probably not going to be the one that wins. You might be really, really great at negotiating and demonstrating your value, and you might be able to get it. So there might be some of us that are watching this video that can actually successfully implement that strategy. But the other one is actually having more resources at your disposal. Meaning someone else is doing all of that management for you that's not you. And some of us have that internally. We have a listing manager or an operations director or somebody that can do that. But for the masses, especially here in Silicon Valley, we're like, most agents live in that sweet spot of 10 to 20 deals a year and doing really good business, but not necessarily savvy with building out operations. They don't need to be. But I would argue that moving forward, that's going to be a necessity for agents here in Silicon Valley. And agents all over the country, really, but especially here in this area. So more resources, what does that mean? Well, I guarantee you that it's not the resources being offered by your broker right now. I know what all of them offer. None of them offer what you need. You need a full-time listing manager that can manage your listings from step 1 to step 100 and everything in between. And not only that, but a marketing team and a creative team. You need it all. But the truth is that the brokers are so far behind now, they won't be able to catch up, because there are other operations that are popping up left and right that are offering these services that are going to win out. And it's time for you to wake up, because that type of operation, that type of platform is going to be the one that ultimately provides you with the leverage that you need in your business to be able to let go of the minutia and focus on the shit that actually matters, which is meeting with more clients. Because you should not be taking out the tape measure on a Thursday afternoon being like, hey, so we have to, approximately do this and that to get the... No, stop. What are you doing? I say that tongue-in-cheek because I know there are some of us here, I know there is more than our fair share of individuals who are doing that, and they feel like that's white glove service. That is not white glove service. In fact, I would say that's doing more harm to the seller than good. Why? You're an agent. You're a negotiator. You're a badass negotiator. You should be out there finding buyers for your client, going out there and negotiating for your client, not sitting there and doing handyman work, doing operational management type work. Leave that to a professional that actually specializes in that, because that's how you bring the most value. By delegating the stuff that you are not supposed to be doing and delegating it to somebody that can do it 10 times better than you can. That's the operation of the future. And that is what the client, the consumer, is going to demand. Because this notion that you do it all, that you are a one-stop shop for everything real estate, is a 20th century concept. But I got news for you. We're in the 21st century now. And it's time for you to really embrace that and put your business into a situation that's going to allow you to meet the demands of the consumer moving forward. This is Danny Gould, everyone. Selling Silicon Valley. Stay legendary, everybody.